Welcome to the Do Nothing Project. Everybody hear me okay? Never know if this audio is going to work. Nice to see the names. Andrew, thanks buddy for moderating. Bonjour everyone. Hey Fred, hey Ruth, hey Patrick. Hey, Libby. Okay. Hey, Dana. Safa. Okay, so yeah, sometimes nothing does the trick, and that's what this is all about. Our Sunday edition of Existential Loitering, coming to you live this week from Nosara, Costa Rica. Good evening, Jeff. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, hey, Nick. Good to see you, bud. Van. Janet. Can't hear you. Oh, really? Can't hear me? Okay, no, someone can hear me, because maybe that's your situation over there. So I'm in Costa Rica in Guanacaste province, right on the Pacific coast, a little town called Nosara. I've been coming to for about past 10 years. Way back in the day, we'd rent a little apartment. I'd rent a little apartment before Sarah. It used to be like $300 a month and just surf and relax and write, and it was awesome. And then, last year we didn't do that with COVID all, but we're back and got this little gig at this sweet hotel here called the Harmony Hotel. They put us up. I just teach meditation a few mornings a week, and in return they let us hang out here, and it gives us a pretty sweet place to stay. So that's where I am, and I'm a little wondering if it's going to be chaos here. It sounds okay. We gave our little guy Eden an entire smoothie before he went to sleep, which may not have been the best idea because he was ricocheting around the dining hall, and now his mom is putting him down, and I think he's quieted down, but be an equanimity practice. So welcome to Do Nothing Practice, to the Do Nothing Project. If you've never been here before, this is what it is. It's this thing on YouTube. It's me or Andrew or another friend of ours who will come on and guide a simple practice. It's the community. It's all the people in the chat who are leaving comments, saying hello, who are at this point kind of gotten to know each other. And then all the people not on the chat who are still come all the time but don't really feel like typing. Can't really blame you for being on your computer. So you're welcome, all of you, people commenting, people not commenting, people coming for the first time. Yeah, 25-minute meditation sit, very pared down, almost always. Sometimes has a theme, version of doing nothing, has a theme tonight, usually has a theme. It's all the same thing. And then afterwards, people might put a few comments in about anything about their experience, or if someone has a question, people often respond in the chat too, although I will try to respond. And it's a good thing. As Amy says, it is the best. Hey Chris, hey Brooke, hey Reese, Elise, good to see you. Yeah, Candace, Allison, all the regulars. So, okay, so what are we going to do tonight? So one of the serious perks of being here is, in addition to access to a beach with good surf, I have access to yoga classes. And so I've been trying, it's been like, probably since I was a dad, I don't think I've done a yoga class. And, with the pandemic and everything, I used to like going to classes. I don't like doing it really as much on over Zoom or whatever. So I've been going the past week and a half, and it's been awesome. It's just like, oh my God, my body's just so thankful. I mean, I started doing yoga way before I started meditating, but it was because of injuries, because I have a broken neck and broken shoulder and different things, and people were recommending that, and it was really helpful in that respect, but also it's a deep spiritual practice, and you kind of start to tune into that side of it. And so I was really I've been thinking a lot about yoga this week, and what I would call the inner posture of yoga. Because there's the outer postures, the asanas, the things you're doing, the stretches and all that happening. But there's this sort of inner posture as well, which I want to explore tonight in meditation, because I think it's relevant to any meditation, it's relevant to any movement practice, any sport. And the inner posture of yoga, of course, anyone who ever has done yoga, which I'm sure is most people at this point, you're putting your body in these sort of shaky postures, and they're hard to hold, and your whole body is sort of shaking, and it can be quite intense. Like there's a lot of intensity of feeling where you're really tight, or you're like, you don't think you're going to lose your balance. And the whole thing is to kind of keep your cool inside that. It's basically the practice of equanimity. It's, breathing into the spots and seeing if you can get really kind of dignified and balanced on the inside, or centered on the inside. And when you do that, you're able to, go deeper into the postures. And that's really, yoga is a physical, it prepares the body for meditation. That's kind of what it classically is, like in terms of the physical postures. But the physical movements themselves are a very deep practice. They're a practice of expanding our capacity to stay centered when things get intense. And that's part of why you're always working at your edge in yoga, which my edge is not hard to find because I'm completely inflexible and I look ridiculous. So fortunately, it's an easy class. So in this do nothing project, as always, you're welcome to do nothing whatsoever, and don't even follow my guidance. Just lay there and do nothing. Or you can do my version of doing nothing tonight, which is just going to offer a few cues around the inner posture of a seated meditation. I don't mean the way you organize your neck and your spine, and although I could say something about that, but you could meditate just fine lying down or sitting in a comfortable seat. There is something valuable about a straight spine and that alignment. It does do something. But it's really about this idea of a kind of inner posture that when things get even in the slightest bit uncomfortable, there's this return to poise, a return to a kind of centered quality, coming back, seeing if you can find the smoothness inside the posture. So even this posture of a seated meditation, which is kind of like the prima posture. So that's our itinerary. It's good to be here. I enjoy this community. I enjoy this night. Yeah, seems like there's lots going on in the chat. I'll have a look and see what's going on later. Let's meditate. Okay. Now you can start with a few deep breaths if you like. Nice slow breaths anyway. If you are seated, the classic guidance around the spine is imagining like a string pulling you up by the back of the head, kind of straightening out that posture. And you can have a lot of cushions behind you to support that if you need. If you're just sitting in an open space, that helps keep the body centered. And then of course you have your knees down below your hips. Maybe you're on a cushion and that creates kind of a tripod of stability. But you can do it sitting on a couch or your feet on the floor. Just taking a moment to just be kind of aware. That straightness creates kind of an alert feeling that helps us stay poised and alert and relaxed. Or not too relaxed. Feel longer out breaths, breathing out any tension, or there's tension in the body, there's tension in the mind. So we can kind of do a little bit of a sweep. Even if you don't think there's tension there, often just bringing your awareness to the forehead, say, or the jaw, you realize, there's a bit of tightness. And maybe you can loosen that a bit. Same with the throat and the shoulders. Loosening even the front of the body, the belly. Actually, that loosening the front of the body cue is always my way into beginning to find a bit of equanimity. It's like, oh, can I just be kind of soft and yielding, you know, letting the sounds be here around me, the temperature, the air. It's like I'm not braced against any of it. But there's a poise in that. So you're centered, present, but you're open and allowing too. And that means it's a good thing. It means things don't have to be perfect. There can be uncomfortable body sensations. There can be few thoughts or lots of thoughts. Distractions or no distractions. It's all good. That inner poise is about staying centered, independent of conditions. It's a very radical posture. And from here, you want some extra structure to help settle the mind. You can choose a home base. Nice soft sensation, maybe at the nostril or the belly. Something to feel. And that breath is nice because it's kind of a rhythm. But you can use the feeling of the hands or sounds around you or some other sensation in the body or point in the body. Just something to kind of recollect the attention, recollect. And that's our setup. Mind wanders, come back to your home base, remembering the inner posture, this sort of dignified poise and smoothness on the inside. And so whatever is going on, even the subtlest sensations in the body, they can sometimes, there can be a little bit of bracing against it somehow, or a kind of flavor of tension in there. And the idea is that no matter what you experience, no matter what sounds or sensations, the continual invitation is to get absolutely smooth around them, absolutely no resistance, playing with how open you can be. And you can kind of go in to each sensation itself and kind of shave off subtle, tiny tensions and quiverings and bracings. And you shave them off just through opening a little more. So you can kind of explore what that is for you, how you do that. There's no way to kind of describe it. It's an inner act. And so distractions happen, or we go off into thought. We notice, and we regain our balance. We come back to our center, aware, calm, open, smooth. Breathing normally, just being with our home base, or maybe not even a home base, just being. Just sitting. Anytime there's any strain that you notice, seeing if you can kind of just let that go. No need to strain against unwanted thoughts or feelings or sensations. They can all be here. Just come back to the center, back to this inner posture of allowing all these things to be here. It's like how effortless can you be in the posture? The sitting posture, the meditation posture, the life posture. Very good. So over the last 2-3 minutes here, we'll do a little finale, a deity yoga, in keeping with our theme, where you kind of visualize, typically it was like you visualize the Buddha, and you just sort of imagine that you are that, like the seated perfectly in his meditation posture, the poise, the kind of delicacy, and you just sort of try to embody that. But it could be really any archetype, and can you kind of exude some quality of that? And if you don't have, if some God doesn't come to your mind because this is not how you're wired, understandably, then you just do the thing. So maybe it's compassion, maybe it's patience. You choose the quality. You really see if you can bring it into your body, bring it into that inner posture. That becomes the inner posture. Maybe it's patience or stillness or strength or compassion or just simple presence. But it helps to kind of superimpose this, statue over top of you. That's what I do. It's sort of like, what note do you want to go out on here? It's like you're ringing this bell in the body and trying to really, with your body language of stillness, be this thing. It doesn't have to be serious or dour either. I often do the big fat laughing Buddha and just feel the kind of gregarious hilarity, kind of buoyancy. Thank you. Well, if you needed to sleep, then it must have been what you needed, Safa. I found a bell. I did. What's barking nomad saying, Darren? How does it feel like the live sessions are more effective than the recorded ones? Yeah, I wonder if other people find that. People find the live. I do find there's something pretty sweet with it live. And there's a kind of collected feeling, even if it's, virtual. But I find, I can get pretty good in a recorded one too. The thing transmits somehow to at least a certain degree. But I think the immediacy of knowing everyone else is doing it at the same time all around the world, there's a certain, you know that. And the knowledge of that is kind of palpable. Brooke, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's awesome. Yeah, it was a good one. Hey, Angie. Nice to see you. Yeah, embodying patience. Christiana, ever led a how to relax your body meditation? Yeah, I could do I could do one specifically around that, like a more full body scan. Well, maybe I'll do that next week or something. Chris, like the laughing Buddha. Yeah, Ruthless has got some thoughts on the community. Better Live versus Memorex. Oh, I'm glad. Emily, I hope the illness ebbs, at least the suffering around it. Nice to see you, Nick. Eden stayed quiet too, that's right. Lots of comments today. Well, thank you all for doing this with me. Yeah, it does feel like you're friends, I agree. That's how I feel. Bradley Hicks in Toronto. We'll be back there soon enough. Snow coming tomorrow. Well, yeah. So it sounds like that one resonated with folks. The inner posture. Yeah. So Amy got the shave off instruction, found it helpful and understood and felt the need to shave off edges of several contractions in body, mind. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that language would land. That's how it kind of feels for me. It's like as you get really, really still and go in, you see there's like this kind of like almost a holding the breath thing or like a little braced thing. And it's like, can you kind of get in there and kind of smooth it out and open it up? Sometimes I feel like I go in bit by bit and I'm smoothing it out. Other times it's something I'm just doing in my being, just through the whole of my body. And anyway, it could be a good thing to explore. All right, friends. Well, this concludes another episode. And hey, Sander, another episode of Doing Nothing Whatsoever. I will be here next week. Same place, same time. I do enjoy these moments myself. Great job for you, Patrick. It's a great job. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Andrew. Good to see you, Cashew. Good to see you, Mitch. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Angie. Me, Len, and Lily, if you watch this later, thank you. See you next week. Oh yeah, thanks for putting that down, Andrew. And there's CEC tomorrow night, the Consciousness Explorers Club. It's happening tomorrow night, and I don't know who's doing it tomorrow. I often tune into that, sometimes quietly. We'll see. Okay, good night, everyone.